Galera, Grand Finals, Markmu versus Sandstorm. Começamos aqui já, direto na luta. Enfim, Sandstorm trazendo a sua Pria, Markmu com seu Mordex. Lembrando que o Sandstorm tem muita experiência de Mordex, né, mano? Muitos anos aí de carreira. Enfim, pessoal, não se esqueça que eu tô criando conteúdo de vocês. Criando conteúdo de react pra vocês nas redes sociais. Tem meu Instagram, TikTok, segue lá vai lá me dar um oi. E também, mano, num canal voltado só pra isso, tá bom? Mas eu espero que vocês gostem. E é isso, tá bom? Link no comentário fixado.
Especially with Sandstorm going ahead and throwing these chakrams, hitting that Ensig and, queuing up yet another pair. They're fighting an arm. Marky gets to spawn, favored to his side, but Sandstorm's going to get one right on his side now. And yeah, we back at it again. He's throwing that fuse sidelight, yeah.
He's trying to go ahead and get the knockout off that fuse version of the sidelight. Trying to get an earlier knockout on Markmu. Markmu's gonna have a hard time getting back up on stage. Sandstorm gonna lay it down. Maybe a down sig come flying out. No, Markmu is gonna be able to take just an easy stroll right onto the left side of the map. Sandstorm keeps him off the weapon. There we go. Gonna go ahead and send them out. And Sandstorm is the first to strike as he is up 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Sandstorm make great use of that side light into the down light to refuse the chakrams, but also get that added knockback to lead to the KO there. But Markmu's still trying, man. He's been so close to finding the solution to this character, and he even won some games, lost to literally nobody else but Sandstorm today, and so trying to see if he can reconcile that, but having a tough time, having to go for wonky plays like jumping off stage, gravity cancel sidelighting into the wall to then recover Sandstorm to find his knockouts. But on the other side, Sandstorm has to get his chakrams, has to split them up and then get these down airs or falling nairs and combo those into recoveries to get KOs off the top.
Oh, nice gravity cancel sidelight from a Sandstorm. Markmu, though, get the reversal, but wait, he might overcook. No, he's got the nair, pulled Sandstorm back out. How are they both neither one knocked out after that?
Like, it's like, y'all both made it back?
Like,
okay.
What?
I guess y'all just that good, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Sandstorm piecing up Markmu yet again, though. Those nairs into the recoveries are just so hard to deal with. Even the recovery on its own will just cover so many dodge options that it's a tad bit ridiculous to try to work around. But Markmu trying to find a way, not going to be able to get a punish on that side sig because Sandstorm does it away from him, and the built-in movement to the sig is just too much for the dog to be able to keep up with. But we'll see here. Markmu trying to get back, squeezes by. Contorts himself a little bit, I guess, to get past Sandstorm, but somehow they're both still alive here.
I'm just looking at the back and forth, the teeter-totter of gameplay that we're seeing in game number one, and I think we might need chairs and seatbelts for this grand finals, Flambeau, because this is going to be a ride.
Yeah, no, strap in. We're going to be here for a minute. Make sure that you got everything done before we go. Make sure you've taken your peeps and poops because I don't want to hear nothing once we're on this ride.
Right? We are not pulling over for any reason.
Oh, Sandstorm, dang, comboing off the wall, scooping him in. Yo, brother.
Markmu with a nice unarmed recovery, though, to clear the air, get the spacing, and get the stock. Well played from Markmu.
Yeah. No, you got to give it up, man. Marky, somehow, able to find the stock despite the fact that, Sandstorm was getting West Coast custom with those combos off the side of the stage there. I was like, that exhibit really was ready to pull up. But now, things are looking a little bit better for Markmu. The stock count is the same. Yeah. The damage is roughly even. He hasn't gotten his dub on Sandstorm yet today. He'd love to start this set off 1-0 and go for a reset. Can he do it, though? Sandstorm has a mash recovery. Marky has to find a way down and find a setup for the KO.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask. Sandstorm does have the advantage here, but this could go either way as Markmu putting that scythe on him. Sandstorm retreats, gets back up on stage, hits him with the sidelight. Ooh, Markmu, can he find it? No, he whiffs the dare.
That weapon is so fast. You saw, he said, oh, you whiffed, I'm going to try to get around you.
Caraca, nice
said, nope, I can cover that. And he covers the rest.
Puniu muito bem, muito bem. Bora lá, segunda partida.
Marky had a hammer run.
Opa, mudança de legend, mano. Let's go. Pra Mirage.
True, yeah, it's true. But I'm just saying, like, in the hands of this guy, like, come on. But That's not what we have here. I mean, this Mirage obviously not bad at all for Markimu, and at some point when things haven't been working, you have to try something new. He had his winners set, things didn't work out on the Mordex. We're over here on the grand finals side of things, trying to find a way to secure this victory. Mirage is definitely not a bad option here. We've seen him play it before to great success. Who's to say that can't happen now?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I definitely think the Mordex wasn't getting it done. That was pretty obvious. And he had all the data from their first set to go off of.
Nice.
Plus, ooh, there we go. Good stock from Markimu, plus the data from game number 1, and he made the decision. All right, look, the Mordex isn't working. We're gonna switch it over, put Spear in the mix, still have that scythe to fall back on, and maybe mix things up a little bit. Sandstorm, there we go. Gonna confirm the stock right there. We're all tied up on stock number 2.
And you know what? I respect the choice as well, because part of the kind of like counterplay we've seen, at least from Marky, in terms of dealing with chalk rooms, is swapping legends, whether it be on win or lose, right? Just kind of constantly refreshing the matchup that Sandstorm has to go up against and adapt to try to see if maybe he can eke a win over that way. But it's just been so hard for him today. He tries to go for the YOLO ground pound. Sandstorm already piecing him up because of it. Trying to throw him to the food processor yet again. Oof. Damage.
Oh my goodness, Sandstorm.
Oh.
There you go, hit him again. Saw him back over to Chakrams. He had him primed. Grabbed a Kittle side sig. Is going to get punished from Markimu. Can he follow up? No, he misses the landing off the side. There we go, another side light. He's getting really good at swapping those. And Sandstorm is going to confirm the stock. And man, it is starting to just fall away right through Markimu's fingers. It is so unfortunate, but Sandstorm is starting to heat up.
Yeah, I mean, the down sig definitely going to go ahead and bring things back there. Was wondering when that one would make an appearance. I mean, when you pick Mirage, you got to press it at least once. Yeah. It doesn't matter which weapon you use. You just gotta represent it. You gotta let them know. And so there we go. Now Sandstorm has been informed. He has received the memo. But you're going to need a little bit more than that if you're Marky. That D-Light there is going to be a great start. Sandstorm finessing his way in the corner, trying to keep Marky oppressed, and that's exactly what he's doing. Marky needs to touch the stage. There he go, touches just the very tip corner of Demon Island, but hasn't been able to win. Yeah, he's stuck in the neutral game. Hold on, chance. Tries to go for the read wide the game to end there. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have too. There it is. Okay, we are tied up 1-1. Marky Moo.
Oh, let's go.
The Mirage.
More confident on this.
Bora lá, Mandou, let's go.
Which the Mordex are struggling to do. And honestly, the KO condition, I think, is just simpler. Like when you're sitting here on Mordex, right, you're like trying to get all these scythe reads or whatever. You hop on Mirage, bro, once you've hit the dude enough, if you land a D-Light, that's it. And it's like, all right, if I don't want to land a D-Light, I'll press one of these heavy buttons. They're all good because I'm Mirage, right? Sometimes you need just like that little reprieve in your brain to make things feel a little bit more accessible. So we'll see if victory can find Markimu's way.
I do worry a bit about the ability of Markimu to be able to win 5 more. I do worry about running out of steam, having to go, back-to-back sets against Priya, against Sandstorm's Priya.
It's true.
A very exhausting weapon to play against, and I do worry about that a little bit if this does go the entire distance. I think Markimu really needs to if he's going to get this done, he needs to get it done as early as possible.
Oh, and the edge guards just haven't been
so smooth with it.
Connecting, man. He gets Sandstorm off stage. The weapon throw is just mid. Like, it's not good enough to force Sandstorm to dodge. And so because Sandstorm still has that dodge on the way back to the stage, Marky was having a much tougher time confirming the knockouts. There we go. He gets to punish onto, I believe, a chakram recovery there with that side air to go ahead and close things out. But you're going to have to, try to be a little bit more consistent, especially with the weapon throws, man. I think the weapon throws after, like, hitting someone off stage can sometimes be some of the easiest parts of an edge guard. So you want to make sure you're locking in there, and that's almost disaster for Sandstorm. Marky landing one side, so he goes for 2, though.
Ooh. All right, we're seeing the helicopter come into play here. Sayer. Ooh, he missed the signature, and Sandstorm right there to punish it. What can he get? Marky Moo finds his way, puts the recovery in there, gets the path back up on stage, and now he is trying to lock in on Sandstorm. The dare Sayer from Sandstorm on those split chakrams. Who picked him up with an inlight, and he's not stopping the recovery. He's going to finish it. And now Sandstorm has Marky Moo on a game of stock here.
Okay, Marky definitely wants to win this one. You go down 2-1 against Sandstorm on the elimination side of Grand Finals. It's going to feel like so much more work to do to try to bring yourself back into this tournament. And so we'll see here, but he's getting minced up. It's not looking good for Marky. Marky can't get down. The Mirage, seemingly not the answer. Tries to go for the N-Sig. Sandstorm doesn't fall for it. Splits those chakrams up, and you know he's here to go ahead and put on all this extra pressure here in the center of the stage. Goes for the down sig, the first one we've seen this set, I think, and Marky Moo at this point is on borrowed time. What is he going to do in this game number 4?
Go next.
We are going to see, because this game's over.
Yeah, go next. One thing you pointed out, too, that down sig.
Caraca, mano. Dawson. A gente tá vendo Rayman agora na Grand Finals. Doideira.
When have we seen him swap off to a Dawson?
Literally never. But when your back's against the wall, hey, you gotta figure something out. And Marky Moo, he's someone who, you know, if he has an idea of something that'll work, he's gonna try it out. So far, I mean, this Axe, I haven't seen Axe really do super well into chakrams. I'll keep it a buck. I feel like Hammer, much easier, but on the Axe side of things, I think they just kind of get mixed up like this. It feels like it should be a good idea because they have these circular hitboxes, but I just think you get out-frame data too bad. You're out there in the air and it's naring you. What are you gonna stuff it with? You don't have anything fast enough.
I have to agree. I think we've seen a lot more success out of Hammer, Blasters. Oh no. Blasters, Spear. Axe, not so much. Even the times we've seen Taros players go up against chakrams, they tend to get rid of the Axe and favor that Hammer. Marky Moo has those gauntlets back in hand. See what he's going to be able to do with them. No, Sandstorm's going to clean up that stock pretty easily. And this is about the worst position Marky Moo has been in the beginning of a game yet.
Yeah, Marky Moo needs to figure out an answer. I mean, this Axe, he's looking a little unseasoned there, right? He has Sandstorm stacked on top of him. He's trying to figure out how to punish him. The answer is he has to dash and pick either side and do an N-Light. Instead, that's not quite the way that he tries to respond. And so now...
Oh, we're done.
It's not looking good for Marky. Yeah, he's getting minced up, and you can see at this point, he's kind of zoning out here, going for these wild plays. You can tell he's more or less checked out. Sandstorm...
Não foi uma boa troca. Ele tá tirando zero proveito do Dawson, mano. Não vai rolar.
Got him on the side looking like Bunny or Experience in the olden days, you know?
Sandstorm, vencedor da América do Norte, galera da Spring Championship.
It's 2 minutes.
Hey,
that's all he's doing.
Não se esquece, por favor, de se inscrever no canal pra estar acompanhando mais campeonatos aqui, tá bom?
Watching cutscenes isn't all bad, but for Marky Moo, it definitely is. I mean, time's a ticking here. He's camping the side. He's had just about enough. We're gonna see if he gets his first stock off of Sandstorm.
There it is.
Goes for the YOLO ground pound because you know what? Why not? But it's feeling like it's a matter of moments here. We'll see if he answers back. I'm not feeling optimistic about it, Slow.
I'm not either. I mean, this is Brawlhalla, and I have seen some crazy things happen in my years with this game, but we are seeing a little pep from Marky Moo now. See, got those gauntlets in hand. He's only a stock behind. This is totally doable, Flambeau. But man, it would take it to a game 5, and then he would still have to reset it and do it all over again.
And you see Sandstorm's doing down airs out of his stun now whenever, he's getting mixed up, and that's going to be GG.
Quebrado demais, velho. É isso, gente, Sandstorm ganhou. Do nada ele reverteu a situação ali. Deu leitura e deu KO, mano. É isso, se inscreve no canal.